Welcome to the Peeew.
Peeew! The 2018 edition.
Peeew 2018.
Can you believe that we've been doing this almost 3 years? Because we started in 2015.
Yeah.
Or no, we started in 2014.
Yeah, almost, well, going on 4 years.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
And, remember when we were following our, we were like watching so closely our followers because we wanted to get to that 5,000 mark.
Right.
So we could do Googling. And now, and it seemed to take forever to get there. I thought we would never get there actually sometimes. And now that we've stopped watching it, it's like going up even faster, and we're not even like paying attention to it.
Because now we don't want to go to the Google studios. Or not that they would even have us. Because
why would they have us?
I'm afraid they wouldn't have us because Google and YouTube have this habit of demonetizing our videos or flagging them, so...
Flagging them for what?
Well, for content that's not suitable for all advertisers.
Well, okay.
But of course it's not suitable
right.
for all
What I'd like to know is, how do they get... on Tumblr, they have all those,
They have everything.
The most offensive things in the world, and then it's like brought to you by Colgate. And
no, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Oh my God, Ernie!
Because I've been watching Tumblr videos, crazy Tumblr videos, and there's no Colgate.
Darling,
advertising.
You'll see.
No. I mean, or maybe I'm watching worse things than you're watching.
Maybe. Maybe, but yes, there is Colgate commercials.
All right. Well, we don't have to watch them now. I'll take your word for it.
Prove my point. You just said that you weren't going to take my word for it.
Okay. So what site are you on?
Tumblr.
Okay, but which one? Which of the Tumblr feeds?
Those are just the regular feed.
Like the random one that just shows you random.
The gays like that. Oops. Yes.
I don't see any Colgate.
Well, okay.
I see lots of butts and fingers in butts, but no Colgate in butts. in or out of butts. Oh, okay. So this is what you're watching on Tumblr. Oh. Okay.
And is it just the regular feed?
Oh, yeah, it's a regular feed.
Oh.
You have no control over it. It's not based on any of your past views.
No.
Or preferences.
This is completely random. Well, they do have Colgate out there.
Yeah, but there's probably a tube of Colgate going in someone's butt, based on.
Isn't that an ad for Colgate? All right. Well, we were going to talk about.
Desmond is a 10-year-old child.
Maybe we should talk about it in another episode.
Yeah, let's talk about him in another episode. Let's talk about the book Fame Shark, which I just read.
Yeah.
I just read this book Fame Shark, and shark is
here
in.
It is. This is the regular.
Shark is in the predatory fish that swims in the ocean.
Right.
And it's a great short memoir for those of you who don't like reading long.
How long
books.
is it?
It's only about 220 pages.
Oh, wow,
230 pages.
Short.
Because that's pretty short for a book, I think. And it basically chronicles the life of this guy who, as a child, decides that he wants to be famous. He goes to some school, and it turns out
Which one of our friends was that?
It does sound very much like one of our friends. And in fact, he could have been one of our friends.
Yeah, it would have been one of our friends.
If he had lived in a different decade, because this book he was a child in the 90s, and then he was in high school in the late 90s and early 2000s.
We were kids in the 90s.
We were club kids, but yeah, we were not children though. I mean, we were in school in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So, so different generation. But his parents are these really liberal, artsy.
Which normally you would think
that live in the Lower East Side
would be like the Michael J. Fox thing, Family
Right.
Ties, where they bring up a yuppie kind of conservative child.
Right. So you would think that that's the kind of child that he would be, but in fact, he becomes a fame whore. He happens to be in this class with this girl whose mother is some director at some big TV production studio. So they use the school for anytime they need extra children for something, in the background, or they need playing children in a commercial.
Anytime they need extra children.
Right. They would go to that school and get the child.
We need some extra children.
Right. And then all the parents would just kind of sign these releases and get paid thousands of dollars to let their kids be pimped out for commercials.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. So after
It's not.
being pimped out a few times, he decides he wants to be famous. but he doesn't exactly know how because he doesn't have any discernible talents.
Again,
Very much like the club kids. Very much like the club kids. So he goes on a series of misadventures. He discovers marijuana, then he discovers liquor, then he discovers cocaine, and
just like the club kids.
every time he, combines them in different amounts, he feels fabulous, and then he starts dressing
every
up.
time, because there's sometimes when you.
Maybe he left out those parts in the book, but every time he goes out, he started dressing up in these outfits, and he was so desperate for fame that he, in fact, even started having sex with gay guys, even though he is not gay.
What?
He let some gay guy suck his dick because he thought that it would be his golden ticket into a world of celebrities.
Golden shower or golden ticket? How old was he?
At the time he let that happen, he was 20.
I'm wondering if he's one of those, bisexuals who, 10 years later will admit that they're gay. And then...
Well, he's only in his 20s, I think, right now. So maybe, I don't know, I can accept bisexual guys that... No,
I can too.
In the book, he says that he just doesn't like guys, but that he just did it because he was so desperate for fame. So, that's his excuse. That's a better excuse, actually, than, I was so high, I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's more calculated.
Yeah, desperate for fame, yeah.
And so anyway, pick it up, Fame Shark. It's by Royal Young, I believe his name is. So it's a good book. It's an easy read, breezy, great vacation, beach read. I think I read it almost entirely on the plane and then 2 hours more on the beach. We'll be right back.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back to the Peew.
The Peew. And...
Yeah, I should have. But she just want to know, Blueberry wants to know, why wasn't there a Michael Musto character in Party Monster? He seemed to be around a lot back then. Well...
He was, in fact, around a lot back then.
He was around. I don't know how much he was around. He wasn't around every Disco 2000. He was there maybe... twice a month or something? I don't know.
Well, twice a month for 5 years is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But then there were the other aspects of it too. But we didn't have anything to do with the character development or the characters that were in Party Monster.
Yeah, contrary to popular belief,
right,
we were not consulted.
We didn't. No, not well. They consulted me in so much as wanting me to send them, pages of my book and things like that, and then talking on the phone and stuff like that, but not in do you want Michael Musto to be a character or not? I'm sure it just didn't lend to the story.
Right. How would he have fit in the story anyway if he had been?
Probably at the end he would have broke the story in the Village Boys.
That would have been Frank Owen.
Well, but Michael Musto was the one I think that wrote the Blind Item.
Oh yes. All right.
Yeah.
He could have been there.
Could have been there, but it wasn't.
See you next time.
I think no. Actually, I was going to say I think that nothing.
Bye.
Bye.